1 second, almost there. Work. Here we go. Okay, great. All right, so as you can see, I am not in my house. I am at the Alembic with my wonky, what do they call it? Dutch angle when you shift the angle of the camera. So the room is not in a perfect perspective. And so I thought today I would work with that idea of letting go of perfectionism and just being okay with what is going on right now. So taking a minute to tune into your breath, feeling into whatever it feels like in your body right now, whatever has happened in your day so far. I've had a very weird and exciting morning. Let's say upregulating morning. It's been exciting in both good and bad ways. So I'm going to start with my hand, one hand on my belly and one hand on my chest, and just feel into what I feel like. And I can feel that I need to turn off this other air filter because it's too loud. Yeah, so as we're in our bodies on a daily basis, there are many things, sounds, other people, sights and sounds and moments that can kind of come and land with us and touch our sort of energetic pattern or our nervous systems. And we sometimes don't even notice that they're happening. And sometimes it's like, oh, when the sound turns off and we can release into that, then we notice, oh, there was a slight tension with that sound. So part of the releasing of perfectionism idea is that it's kind of okay as is. So, but we can always change what we can change, right? So like if you can unplug something, if you do notice it, go for it. Not saying in releasing perfectionism to not adjust things to feel better, but just to soften around the edges of thinking of how things should be. Breathing into that. I think maybe it's more letting go of the need to fix something or to change something, or letting go of the shoulds and the if only, and just being okay with the as is. But I mean that really on a as is in your own body, like whatever's going on right now. What if we just bring our awareness to it? And you could imagine the awareness just alighting on the sensations in your body. So it's not that they have to, like alighting like a little hummingbird on sensation. So it's not diving in and pulling on them like taffy. It's just landing and noticing. And let's start to use the theta breath. So a soft hissing sound. And think of that like kind of like steam releasing out of a radiator or a radiator, depending on how you say it, but gently letting things get softer and more diffused as you use the theta breath. So the theta breath will help down regulate, bring us into a more parasympathetic state where there's the opportunity to rest, digest, soothe, and settle, to metabolize our lives a little bit. And if there's micro movement that arises or arrives in your body, allow it to come in. So we're not going into stillness practice, but we're going into embodiment practice and awareness practice with the allowing of our bodies to move and to have some freedom within the system. And as I go in, it's almost like there's a sense of exploration, not of exploration to shift and change, but just curiosity. What is happening? It's an inquiry practice. What does it feel like inside of here? And if I allow my awareness to enter and to really be present with the spaciousness inside my body or sensation inside my body, what happens? Allowing the sensation of gravity and your connection to the earth to come online so that we feel ourselves, we can feel our presence, we can feel our weightedness. In movement analysis, we talk about lightweight and strong weight, and lightweight has a tendency to go up and strong weight has a tendency to come down. But in this idea of weight, just think of letting your weight settle, letting your weight and body spread and settle. So we're tuning into that connection to the gravity, to the earth through when we move, it's the interoception, proprioception, kinesthetic awareness. And we sense that through the movement of our fascia, through the movement of our fluids, through the air on our skin. So we're just allowing those sensors, those really sensation sensors to come online without any overarching plan of what should be happening in there, but just landing in the what is as is and feeling into it. What am I feeling in here? And it's like a koan in a way that we don't have to have an answer. There isn't an answer. It's a shifting, changing flow. Or the answers that arise at 1 minute could be very different than the answers that will arise tomorrow. So I think also with this idea of the vertical dimension, the up and downness of our body, there is this like rising transcendence that can happen. And then there's also sort of this sinking connectedness to the earth. So thinking of those two polar up and downnesses, those two directions within the sort of verticality of being a human, and also relating to space through that up and downness. But thinking of the qualities of what is it like to go up and what is it like to go down. And sometimes I think we feel that we may have preferences like, oh, it's better to go up than to go down. But let's take away the judgment call on up and downness and just allow it to just be upness or downness, not that has any more content than just up and down. And the content that it might carry can just be sensation as opposed to story as we play with it to lengthen really towards the sky or to connect down and land on the planet, on the earth. What is happening to us as we feel into that up and downness of our body? Is it effortful to rise? Is it effortful to let go? Sometimes it can be like, I'm trying so hard to let go. But maybe if you just let yourself sink down, you can let go of the trying. And then just to bring in the horizontal as this spacious field of possibility where we can gather in or scatter out So within the horizontal plane, like the table plane, we can really feel into bringing things in, gathering in, or radiating outward. So there's a real play with the inner outer if we play into that horizontal dimension, horizontal plane. And maybe preferences arise. But if possible, just allow it to be information, not judgment, not there is no perfection here. There's no perfect way. It's just being present with. And sometimes we need to, draw into ourselves, gathering in, coming in, and then sometimes we want to expand out and open into the world around us or connect to the field around us. So letting yourself play with that idea or those two ideas, the up and downness, and then also the expansive, spacious table plane of gathering, scattering, opening, closing. And neither of those have to be perfect. There can be an underlying fluidity to it. Even straight lines are really curvilinear, right? If we take a big enough perspective. So everything is going to have some curvy shaping to it on some level. And you're just inviting your body to explore in what feels good and what feels interesting. And eyes can be open or closed. When I close my eyes, it's much more easy for me to sense what's happening on the inner levels. And also to come into myself. And then when I open, it's easy to radiate outward, taking in the external space. And there may be shifts of focus that are really expansive and open, or really pinpointed and specific. And we're not trying to do one or the other. We're allowing all of those types of focus to play. And if we think of like how fluid expresses, meaning like a river or an ocean or even like a pond, we are also bodies of water. So how is the water moving, or how is the water just hanging out, right? What's the relative stillness or the surface tension of the water? I'm going to add music and just let us play with those ideas. If you feel like there's something you're supposed to do or something that is not right, let go of that. So this is the invitation to just give yourself the chance to really feel into being in your body, feeling into what it's like to play in this body of water with spaciousness or with this idea of transcendence going up, groundedness coming down, opening out, or and closing. And it might sometimes feel like, oh, I really just need to stay in. If that's what you're feeling, let yourself honor that. Really let yourself go into what is interesting and delicious. So we're not locking down the plan. We're just giving ourselves freedom to really play with it. So the music is going to be Jeff Gersh. ambient fields. And let's try this one. Sorry, it's kind of loud. There we go. And it may be interesting to do this laying down, standing up, on all fours, on your side, any way that feels interesting. Like if your body wants to go somewhere, listen to that. So we're not fighting against anything, we're allowing. And let the music sort of feed the movement. So there's the inspiration of whatever is coming up for you, whatever feels good, whatever feels interesting, whatever feels nourishing. And if you feel like there are things to let go of, just let go of them. Maybe, oh, maybe I don't need to hold on to this so much. Allow your body to fully land in the here and now, to fully land on the planet, to fully land in this moment, and to explore it as if there is nothing else. Giving your nervous system permission to let go of any kind of snarls that are holding on in there. And the untangling of these tension patterns can just simply open up and fall away. It doesn't have to be a big process of peeling each individual, thread out. It can just open. Or maybe it doesn't want to open, and that's fine too. Giving yourself permission to really let go of other people's ideas of who you are, even your own ideas of who you are, just giving yourself some time to have freedom in your body, where you're not judging, trying to fix things, but just allowing it to be a fluid system, arising in the moment with your awareness. you can let go of any ideas of what movement should look like, or even what movement should feel like, and just allow yourself to really experience what is going on. What does it feel like? Without any shoulds, without any need to look good or be pretty or beautiful, but just let it be whatever it is. Allowing yourself to create new neural pathways in your body, new possibilities, new ways of being, just by doing it slightly differently, or opening up into like entire vistas of possibility through really diverse movement. And no need to lock any of that down, just letting yourself bathe in the experience of it. Nothing to hold on to. Allowing your nervous system to experience itself from within. And this might just be an imagination exercise, but allowing it to just be suspended within your body, in the fluids, in the fascia. suspended and supported, nourished from the inside. And if you can't imagine what that was like, or if that doesn't come to you, you can just let it go and not think about it at all. Or you could pretend you can imagine that. What would it be like if you could pretend to imagine that kind of internal support? Really gentle, really soft, slow, and easy. And if you're feeling like, oh, it should be like this or it should be like that, let go of that and just experience it as it is. Giving yourself space to experience what's actually going on without enforcing some other idea upon it of how it should be. And if you have some kind of pain in your body that's really drawing your attention into it, see if you can find some part that feels good. It could even just be like the negative space around your body feels interesting. And if your body's in pain, maybe think of the negative space around you so that your awareness can also be somewhere easy. So you can go back and forth between the difficult thing and the gentle, easy thing. Or if you aren't having any pain, just play in the spaciousness of feeling good. Or feeling curious. Is there something I can let go of here? Is there some old idea or some unhelpful business that is ready to be released? There can be so many sort of crusty old bits of what I should look like, what I should move like, how this should be. Just see if you can let them fall away and compost, let the earth compost them. notice any kind of gripping or stickiness. See if you can also notice a place where it is fluid and easy, so that we're not just sticking in that place, but we're moving back and forth. But sometimes it's really interesting to sort of get into those places and the attention goes, I'm right here, I can do this. So if that's where you are, that's okay too. Yeah, it's really easy for our bodies to notice what's going wrong or what doesn't feel right. But how good are we at noticing what feels really delicious? What feels so good and yummy? We're moving into that, right? Or allowing it. It can be very anathema to our existence to be in the flow of feeling good. And even that takes some accustoming. We have to allow the system to start to shift, and we have to then be able to accept that as things change, right? So sometimes it's like, whoa, I feel really good. What do I do with this now? Oh my goodness, I'm not in pain. What do I do now? I'm scared something else is going to happen. I'm going to contract again, right? So we have so many sort of patterns of being and ways of dealing with that. The invitation is just to go, oh, that's what's happening. Find some equanimity for it. So it's not just something, we can't crystallize any of this, right? All of its movement, all of its flow, all of its coming and going, and we can do whatever we want, but it's all still going to be movement, flow, and coming and going. Which isn't to say that we can't make our choices and lean into what feels good or what we like or what we want. But we want to start to really notice, can we allow the good part in? Can we allow ourselves to feel okay as is? Can we allow space for imperfection and even celebrate it a little? Like, oh, that happened. That's weird. Freeing up the pattern of our expectations. Just letting go of some of that. And really noticing our participation in being, right? Are we participating in it, fighting it, or are we participating in it, allowing everything? Are we participating in it with some boundaries? What's going on? How are we in our body to know what's going on? And then sometimes just naming it, like, oh, I feel uncomfortable, or oh, this is weird. Something's going on here. I need to express it. Or this is amazing. I'm so happy. I feel so grateful. And we allow ourselves to also let go and to feel good. Just to let go and to feel good, without having to make everything meticulously a certain way. Things are going to happen that we have no control over. And we forgive ourselves. Sometimes that's the hardest, stickiest thing, is to forgive ourselves for not being perfect. I remember reading once that perfection isn't lovable. It's the imperfections that make us lovable. And while we're in these explorations, it isn't to say that there's no tension or you can't engage, do things. feel free to do that. And then just let go also, so that we can engage, we can push, we can experience, and we can also let go and be fluid. We're not locking anything out, but we do want to try and be gentle with ourselves and with our systems, so that on some deep level, there's an agreement that we are in a caring, nurturing relationship with ourselves, with our bodies. And that we are these living forces. Things are shifting and changing, right? The flow of our breath, the airflow coming and going, the flow of our blood, our lymphatic, our endocrines, our hormones, all the things in there. And then the flow of life as it unfolds. And can we just be present in what's happening? And can we, or even just notice when we start to tense up. Sometimes we just have to be okay with that. Oh, that's what's happening. Maybe I'm just going to turn up the music down or off. I'll just take a few more minutes in the silence of our own experience. So the one thing about music, which is lovely, it gives us maybe some inspiration to move, but then it also kind of controls our movement a little bit. It's just letting yourself land in your own body without that influence right now. Just letting yourself process in whatever way. If it's still moving, that's fine. Or if you're in stillness, also fine. Everything is just a suggestion and an offering. Is there something to let go of? Is there some stuck perfectionism lingering somewhere? It's a constant process, letting go of these patterns. As long as we're alive, we'll be dealing with our different patterns. Even the most enlightened being has to eat and go to the bathroom, right? For anybody in TV land, thank you for joining us. I'm going to stop the live stream. Look at the beauty of the Alembic in Berkeley, California.